In the ruins of an abandoned apartment complex on Chicago's South Side, officers recovered a single cell phone. Its battery was dead, its screen was cracked, but what was inside should never have existed. These recordings document the final days of Emma Patterson, the woman who once lived in apartment 313. What happened to her remains one of the most disturbing unsolved cases in the city's history. Emma began recording herself only 2 weeks after moving in. The first clip, she sits alone in her dim living room, the shadows swallowing half her face. Her voice trembles as she speaks. "If anyone ever finds my phone, I need you to understand what's been happening here. Every night, I hear something behind the mirror. The camera turns. A massive antique mirror rests against the wall, cold, heavy, and older than the building itself. It's ornate, with a dark, tarnished frame. Its glass is so clear it seems to pull the room into its depths. A soft tap echoes from within. Emma freezes, her eyes wide with terror. The sound is distinct, like a single knuckle against wood, but it's coming from inside the mirror. Another tap. She inches closer, her breath held tight. The reflection shows only her own frightened face, but the sound is real. The next recording is far more unsettling. The timestamp reads 2:53 a.m. The room is bathed in the eerie green glow of night vision. Emma is asleep in her bed, her breathing slow and steady. The camera is positioned on her nightstand, pointing towards the foot of the bed, where the mirror stands. For a few moments, everything is still. Then, behind her, the mirror begins to ripple, as if its surface were water disturbed by something beneath it. The smooth glass warps and shifts. A silhouette slowly materializes within the glass, a dark, human-like shape, standing where her own reflection should be. It's facing the wrong way, staring directly at her sleeping form. Then the footage cuts to static. The following afternoon, Emma investigates, her determination warring with her fear. She films as she approaches the mirror. Sunlight streams through the window, but the mirror seems to absorb the light, its surface dark and unyielding. She presses her palm against the glass. For a second, nothing happens. Then, the surface warps, bending inward around her hand, as if it were made of gel. The glass feels impossibly cold, pulling the heat from her skin. A whisper, impossibly close, breathes her name, Emma. It's not a sound in the room. It's a vibration that travels up her arm, a voice inside her head. She leaps back, a gasp of pure panic flooding her voice. She stumbles away, her hand clutched to her chest, her eyes locked on the mirror, which is now perfectly smooth again. Later, security camera footage from the hallway reveals something even more chilling. The time is 3:14 a.m. The black and white video shows Emma walking out of her apartment. She moves like a sleepwalker, her eyes glazed over, her steps slow and deliberate. She walks down the empty corridor, away from the camera. But behind her, standing perfectly still in the hallway, is her reflection. Her real body keeps walking, oblivious. Her reflection, however, remains frozen in place for a horrifying moment. Then, it turns its head sharply, toward the security camera, its neck snapping around at a speed that is simply not human. The feed abruptly ends in a burst of digital noise. By the next night, Emma is unraveling. The camera shakes in her trembling hands. She's huddled in the far corner of her living room, as far from the mirror as she can get. "I covered the mirror," she whispers, her voice raspy and broken. She's draped a thick blanket over it, obscuring its surface completely. "I thought if I couldn't see it, it couldn't see me, but something underneath is breathing." The blanket over the mirror moves faintly, rhythmically, as if expanding and contracting with each silent breath. She can't take the suspense. She has to know. Slowly, shakily, she gets up and approaches it. She reaches out a hand and lifts the corner of the blanket. For a split second, there's nothing, just the dark, reflective glass. And then, a hand slams against the inside of the glass, cracking it outward with a deafening boom. The hand is pale and long-fingered, its impact leaving a spiderweb of fractures. Emma screams, a raw, piercing sound, and the phone flies from her grasp, hitting the floor. From the tilted camera view, we see her retreating into a corner, scrambling backward on her hands and knees. The cracks in the mirror widen, spreading across the glass like veins. They form a circular opening like a door being carved from the inside. A figure begins to crawl out. It moves with a disjointed, unnatural grace. Its limbs are wronged, too long, bending at impossible angles. Its face is a blur, a shifting, featureless mask that seems to be searching, mimicking her. "Please stop." Emma sobs, her voice choked with terror. The creature tilts its head, mirroring her posture perfectly. "Stop," it echoes, but the voice is not its own. It's her voice, warped and distorted, as if played back through a broken speaker. The final moments are chaos. The creature lurches forward. Emma is seized by the ankles and dragged across the floor. She screams, clawing at the wooden floorboards, her fingers finding no purchase. She's pulled relentlessly toward the mirror's glowing, shattered opening. Glass shatters as her body is pulled through the aperture. Her scream is abruptly cut off. The light from the mirror fades, and the apartment falls silent. Days later, police investigate apartment 313 after Emma is reported missing. They find no signs of a struggle. No footprints, nothing is disturbed. The apartment is neat, orderly, as if its tenant just stepped out for a moment, except for the mirror. It stands against the wall, its glass completely intact, without a single crack. But pressed inside the glass, faint but unmistakable, are a full set of Emma's fingerprints, as if she were trapped behind it, reaching out for help. Emma Patterson is still missing. Her case remains unsolved, and the mirror, it was taken into evidence. It now sits in a secure storage facility, waiting